Howdy on Moglex Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright, we're on release candidate 1 for 1.16. It's so weird because I've been playing on the beta stuff for a while. Uh, oh, I got that glass, but glass don't go here. Why are you here? I mean, I'm not saying you won't be there eventually. I'm just saying, why are you there now? I'm pretty sure this goes across. Like that. So, been an interesting week for me. I mean, in the scheme of things, it was unexpected. I've already told the story a couple times, but basically broke my previous headset. So this is a new headset. I've been trying to. The microphone on this headset is way more sensitive, and I don't like it. Way more sensitive than the previous microphone. I like the possibility that I can turn up how much information is information. I like the possibility that more of my wow, I can't form this into a coherent thought. All right, I like that I am able to um, turn up the volume so that it's easier for people to hear me because I've been recording and in Discord and stuff with the microphone set at 90 volume, 90%, whatever it is. And I couldn't go higher than that because it would peak out. And so um, this is a different animal altogether, but it's not as good at blocking the background sounds, and that's disappointing. It's supposed to be the same level. It's supposed to be better at picking up some higher and lower ranges, but it's still supposed to have noise cancellation, and it doesn't appear to me to be canceling the noise like my old headset. Same brand and everything. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it's ornery like that. Okay, so what I've got to do is I've got to figure out where the side panels go. Um, so that when I hit like lava splotches on the wall, there's like one lava splotch, right? That I've got blocked off that I want to open up. And so I need that one right there. I need to know where the wall is going to be so I know where to dig it out. I do. Okay. So that's starts at 2 for some reason, but we might as well just start with the I don't think I have a pattern. Like I should just I say that, then this one started at 1 and that end was a 2. So maybe I do have a pattern. Glass, and a polished. I'm pretty sure I've got polished, yeah. But yeah, so I glass, polished, and then that goes, and then it would skip Is it polished? Polished. Yep. So polished, polished. I thought I heard a. Nope. Okay. Sounds are different. The headset is closed back. My old headset was an open back, which means that really get out of here. Get off there. Which means that the set I have now have a hard plastic shell all around the ears, and my old set, I mean, they also were hard plastic around the ears, but they had like vents in the back of them, and it made it easier to hear the sounds in the room you were in, but it also made the sound from the headset feel more open. And so I also did not hear my voice as loud in my head as I do wearing these. So it's very bizarre on how much of my voice I can hear, basically echoing, not echoing, but reverberating in my ears, I guess. Okay, so you would be there, you would be polished, you would be polished, and then I don't have enough glass to do this, so we're going to have to go get some glass. Probably need to spend some time out there cooking up glass. Where's my sword? Weird. That's a weird noise. I'm hearing some very weird noises. I guess I don't play with the volume like this. Like I said, it's really different. It's, uh, normally all the background sounds are like almost inaudible for me because of the way that it changes how the sound works. Plus, on top of that, I could play with my air conditioner on, and you could barely hear it, and so I was fine with that in the background. But now it's quite noticeable. So I'm playing with the air conditioner off, so it's a lot quieter in the room now while I'm playing and recording. So it's definitely a different beast. Uh, but yeah, I did figure out a new trick with my editing software though to make it sound better, maybe. Um, so we'll see. We'll see if that rings true. I don't know. Ugh, I hate these big trees. I guess I prefer these to the other big trees because at least these are big enough that you can uh, carve out stairs in them. That's why I use these instead of um, oak. Because nothing's worse than oak. Although I thought I brought some spruce down here. That one on the end I think is spruce. Oh yeah, it is because it changed the ground. around it because I decided I would rather have the big spruce trees here than the dark oak if the spruce will work the way the dark oak is. But yeah, so the phone rang. I have to assume that it was completely picked up, so I stopped recording to answer the phone. It was a political call. Woo! It said, "Hello, is Dean there?" I'm like, "There's nobody here named Dean." "Hi, my name is Carl Bowers, and I am calling from the Republican National Committee on a recorded line." Good for you. Click. I hear a scary noise. Oh, there you are. Um, this is my automated-ish charcoal system. It doesn't work the greatest, but it's okay, I guess. I really should have set it up with I could probably do it really nice with like comparators and stuff so that it only takes a stack at a time instead of 5 stacks or 6 stacks, I guess. I could set it up to take what, two or yeah, stack in one or something instead of what it currently. I hear you breathing. Are you, are you gonna go up here, or are you just gonna stand there going? Um, yeah, so I don't know. I've told most of my stories on Thursday and Friday, so I feel like my week got caught up, and I don't know what to talk about now. I guess I didn't talk about D&D this week. Um, it was it was it is what it is. My online game is stalled out. I don't know why the one guy is not responding, but I know the other guy is busy with summer camp as a counselor, and so I'm not shocked that the one guy is unable to to keep up. But I'm really surprised that the other one isn't responding, and I'm not sure why. I think it's one of the cases where I can't get them to discuss things for whatever reason, and so they're basically playing the game as individual people who just say what they want and ignore everybody else's posts, and I need them to communicate. And so one of them, uh, they're in a shop right now, and they've been there for like 3 or 4 weeks at the same point, and I've been trying to push them along, and they asked to see the 2 items that were for sale, and then that was it. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm controlling a character, but I try not to be involved in any kind of decision process because I know, and and so not that I won't share occasional comments, but I'm not gonna say, all right, this is the item we need to buy. Um, so let's go ahead and grab that item and see where we go from there. No, no, that's not okay. They have to decide, and because of the nature of our game, um, their two of the characters have completed paid missions, um, and two of the characters have not. And so it's a little hard to um, say, yeah, I'll pay for it when you got no money. And so I said that I would chip in what I had, and what I had is not a lot of money. And uh, so I was trying to get them to discuss how much they were willing to put in, and one of the other guys was like, "Oh yeah, I'll put in some money," but he didn't say how much. And the other two haven't responded, so I mean, it's a little hard to go anywhere with that. Um, my my in-person game though, ugh, with the DM that we got, uh, I know this saying is no D&D is better than bad D&D, but that's not true, and everybody knows it. If you have options, if you have options, no D&D is better than D&D. Yes. Like if there was a gaming club that I went to and there were like 40 different guys who were DMing, and or even 10 different DMs, and I could choose a different DM, that would be something. But I've got one guy, and I don't want to run a game at the moment. Um, I have some real hopes that the other guy that we play with said that he wanted to try DMing, and I thought he was really getting into it. And I own all the books, so he has access to everything. That's not true. I don't have all the books. I didn't get Rick and Morty. Not a fan of the show. Didn't want a Rick and Morty adventure. Um, just wasn't my thing. And so 2, 3. So, but I've got everything else, and so he has access to a lot of stuff, and it's digital, and as long as you have the appropriate account level, you have to subscribe to be able to do this. And so I have a subscription to the site, and I pay for a master account, which isn't a lot of money, but I pay for a master account, and because I pay for the master account, I can share. People in my campaign can share their books with each other, and so um, you know he's in one of my campaigns, so he definitely has access to all the books. And uh, although it's really weird, like I like having the books, and I am running a campaign. Um, but it's weird to me how little enthusiasm the people I play with seem to have about the fact that we have access to all the books, and so you'd think that they would be a little more into the fact that we play and they can access all of the books. Downside of this is that it's really hard to tell where these trees are supposed to go. Okay, so this should be kicking out plenty of charcoal. And then we take the charcoal, and that goes in here. And then the front of this should be lots of sand. And then you should be lots of glass. I also have it set up so I could do nether brick if I need to. Stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get this glass. We'll head back in. But yeah, so we dang it. I knew I was going to do that. So we're in the dungeon, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and we're working our way through the dungeon. And we're on floor 3. And so I really don't know how the book is written. I haven't been reading through the book as we play like I normally do. I just assume it's being done wrong every time now. And so we one of the things that really annoys me with my DM is that if a bad guy has any skill that involves hiding, they will hide. If there's any way for them to get into the most annoying position, just ignoring what they would do, because my DM has no concept of motivations or anything like that. He plays every guy exactly the same, and so we don't really run into bad guys who don't immediately try to run away. We only run into go invisible and hide and run out the door in a way that somehow prevents you from being able to do anything about it, because that's what bad guys do. Is even though they've got overwhelming odds, they're gonna run away. And okay, so I want to. Oh, it didn't spread. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, well I guess that doesn't go. Whoop, doesn't go anywhere at that point. All right, so that was really the only one that I saw so far. There might be some in the ceiling that we're going to run into, but I haven't figured that out yet. Andesite, 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 polished andesite. And so last time we played, it's been a couple weeks, but last time we played, what happened was we were invited in by this guy, and he asked us if we wanted to. He told us that there was a way through their territory, and that we needed to meet with his master, probably is what he said. Um, Maybe he said priestess. I don't remember. The problem is that I know things about D&D, and so I have to be very careful not to let what I know influence what I do. And so that's a very, very delicate process, is taking what you know and pretending you don't know it. And so this is one of those cases where I know about the drow, or dro, or however you want to say it. I say drow. My DM says dro. I've never really looked up which is right. Okay, now see, no, I think this is like this, because then the four corners are different, right? Because this is where I got to put in the diorite corners with the glowstone in the center, and basically this it's four. One, two. So then when we come around this corner, we would start anew, I guess. And so we go with the guy, and he leads us through monsters. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to fight this stuff. And so, um, oh, there was lava drip. Okay, so we've got lava right here. So what I want then is I want to do this. I think lava just goes 4, right? Yeah, so we do that. And so then we get through, and man, I gotta wrap up my story here. So we go through, and we meet with the priestess of Loth. Now I know that they're horrible people. I know that from the books. Um, but you don't have to play them as horrible people. So I don't know what he's gonna do. And so as soon as we enter the room, she's like, I can't let you through the territory with weapons, so I need you to put down your weapons, and then I will take you through the territory. And we're like, oh, well, that's okay then. We'll just go a different way, because we don't want to. We don't want to give up our weapons. And so then they attack. And I mean, we have, with this DM in this campaign, run into drow who don't immediately attack. But basically, anytime there's a conversation, chances are we're going to be attacked. Unless we're in a party situation. Like, I mean, an actual party, like people dancing, food's being served. Even then, most of the time we get attacked, and then we get yelled at for not trying diplomacy. every time. And we're like, dude, you didn't even let us have a conversation. You're like, drop your weapons and I will take you through. And we're like, well, we don't really want to seize them. We will kill them. Like, we didn't even really get to finish my sentence. Yeah, so we had to fight those guys, and the one guy that plays with us, he gets up really early in the morning, so I don't understand why he plays with us so late. But he uh, he has set the time when he has to go at 11:30. I couldn't do it, man, because that means he's only getting like 6 hours of sleep, and which would give me a headache. I would have a headache every day if I was him going to work like that. But Yeah, so we get attacked. We do a couple of rounds. The one guy disappears into hiding with invisibility. I haven't looked up the character because I know it's a thing that Drow do. I just don't know if they get to do the things that he was having this guy do. Like, I don't know if they get to cast spells while invisible, kind of thing. Because he definitely was for the longest time. And he was casting stuff that required concentration. Um, so I'm not certain that things were being played out the way they're supposed to be. And so uh, I do know that I do know that he did his favorite thing, which super annoys me. It's the most annoying thing I think he does, and that is he does something, and then 2 turns later he walks it back, or he forgets something, and then he wants to go back and pretend it happened, and it's super annoying because I mean, it's a game, right? And I understand, let's say you're playing Monopoly, right? Uh, and someone's in jail, and it's the third turn, and they don't get their doubles. Well, they have to pay to get out of jail. So if you forget, then you're like, oh, I forgot to pay to get out of jail on somebody else's turn. That's fine, right? That doesn't change the dynamic of the game. Um, and Okay, I think this is gonna wind up like this, and then with oh, I almost backed right off of that. And so that's fine. And But no, D&D doesn't work like that. And so you take your turn, you do your stuff. You don't have to do everything that you can do on your turn. It's a choice. This is what I choose to do on this turn. And well, the DM is like, oh, well, I should have done this other thing on this bad guy's turn 2 turns ago. So now I'm going to, oh, you know what? Reinforcements were supposed to run into the room uh, last turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and let them take a double turn this turn. And so they'll go first to make up for their missing turn, and then they'll take their turn on their turn. That's not okay because it's a game of choices involving what you can and can't do on a given turn. And if I've made uh, my choices and positioning and things like that are gonna be different, based on the fact that those guys are there or where those guys were positioned. and he doesn't let us react to what they're doing in a way that would be, he doesn't back the turns up so that we take our part of the turn over again. He just comes in and does that part of the turn, or other thing that happened this week that really annoys me is he plays a character, only he doesn't try to hide that he knows everything that's going on, and so I guess I could be putting this glass down on my way back through, right? How much glass do I have? I'd better save it, I guess, till I get all the andesite in down the sidewall here. And so one of the things that he does that super annoys me is he will do something with his character and then decide that wasn't the best option after reading over what the bad guy can do, and then change what he did and then take the bad guy's turn. And then, which is unbelievably annoying, and he also likes to wait until you've hammered everything you've got into a bad guy and then say that it's got one hit point left. Uh, and uh, and then have his guy come in and kill it, which I've discussed a few times now. Um, that I'm pretty sure he doesn't roll when he says he's rolling. Oh, I guess I got everything but this glass. I don't have a silk touch pick, so I can't. I want to save a silk touch pick to get these glowstone out of here. I should probably, though, I could probably take out some of this, get some XP. Yeah, so this week he did some of that. We fought these guys. So we cleared that room and then we went to the next room, which was full of guys. Because the other thing he does that I've been noticing more and more is that when you enter into a room, a lot of the times in the book the rooms are in sections, and so like we were in section 5, but there's room 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, 5E, right? So at the end of the night, we entered into like room 7, and and so there's 7A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And so when we entered into room 7A, it says in the book, I looked it up, it says in the book, this room is empty. Uh, but you can hear screaming in the distance. Now, we hadn't been in combat in the room before that, so I don't know what those guys must have magically heard to make them come running, but every bad guy from Section 7 was waiting in the hallway for us. Just waiting in the hallway for us. And I hate that. I hate it because it's not how the game is supposed to be played. Uh, and because it makes it a lot more difficult. The everything. I mean, I'm over time now, but everything in the game is based around what they call action economy. And so you get a turn, your partners get a turn, the bad guys get turns, and so everything is designed around how many bad guys there are, and how many actions the bad guys are going to take, and how many actions you get to take on a given turn. So when you get an adventure book, it's balanced. It's balanced around this is how many actions are supposed to happen in a given turn. So if you take all the bad guys that you're supposed to fight, like room by room, and you pile them all together, well, now the bad guys have an extra numbers of turns that they're going to take that they wouldn't have had before, and it's supposed to make the encounter more difficult and grant you more XP. But he never grants the extra XP for making the encounters harder. Uh, and so So yeah, so we don't get the XP we're supposed to get, and everything is always more difficult. And half the time you make a decision based on what's there, and then he changes his mind on what's there after you've already taken your turn, and then retcons just the bad guy part. So instead of casting that defensive spell on yourself because there's 15 guys in the room, you unleash some kind of attack ability on the four guys that are in the room, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot to bring in these other reinforcements. They're gonna come in now and take 2 turns against your guy who's almost dead and who has now used up his ability for offense instead of defense." But that's what you get, and he'll say things like this: "That's what you get for taking a risk with those attack abilities." Okay, well, if those guys had been where they were supposed to be when I was making my decision, then I would have chosen differently, but they weren't. Yeah. Anyways, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later. Uh, and with that, be better in the small things, lean into the light, and I will talk to you later.